Let's cover choosing an electric guitar today. Some of the basic variables that we talked about in regards to acoustic guitars are going to apply the same for electric guitars. Again, budget, sound, and feel. But let's drill down just a little bit further here, okay? Again, but I think it's very important that I address to you that a tool for one person is going to be a different tool for another person because they're doing different things. If we just look at this as playing guitar, then that's very general. But if we're talking about playing blues guitar or playing rock guitar or jazz guitar, we have different amps for these different scenarios, different types of guitars, different types of strings, lots of different variables there. So it's really important to understand that different tools are used for different things, right? If we're in the garden, you might use a shovel, one type of shovel to, spread manure, but you may use a different type of shovel that has a pointed tip in order to dig a hole. So again, it depends on what it is that you're trying to do. So again, budget, sound, and feel. But other than that, what are we looking at? Usually when we're talking about a guitar, an electric guitar that has single coil pickups, we're going to have a little bit more of a thinner sound. I even tread lightly on this because I have pickups that have single coil pickups that actually have a heavier or a more dense sound than some of my guitars that have humbucker pickups. So a single coil pickup looks like about the size of a finger, whereas a humbucker pickup looks like two fingers next to each other. It's about the size of that, like a piece of soap is what it looks like. And so this has two single coil pickups. This is a Fender Telecaster. It has two single coil pickups, and they just have a different sound. So talking about this would be the equivalent of talking what chocolate tastes like, right? Talking about chocolate as opposed to eating chocolate. So some of this, it really is, again, a journey. And so we're going to have to go forward and just broad stroke some of this stuff so that you don't get stuck in the minutia, okay? But at the end of the day, when we're talking about guitars, typically a humbucker pickup, one that is double this size, is going to have, as a rule of thumb, it's going to have generally a bit more output, which is usually going to be used more for heavier types of music like rock, hard rock, heavy metal, that sort of thing. But again, not always. And because there's so many different caveats to this, you like to tread lightly on it. When you're going to pick, to purchase an electric guitar, understand that in regards to the scales and the chords and the way the guitar is picked and the way that it's fretted and what have you, it's very similar. So everything that we're going to be learning here is going to apply for both, right? At least as far as fretting and picking. So all that's going to be the same. Really, what you're looking for is you're looking for something that's going to speak to you. Try to find something that, if you're listening to rock and you see a lot of players playing a certain type of guitar, you may try those out first as opposed to a guitar that, a jazz guitar. If you're a rock player, that would be ridiculous to kind of be looking at a jazz guitar first. Look at some players the players that are using rock guitars like Les Pauls and Stratocasters and Telecasters and that sort of thing, and see if you like those sounds, because chances are if they're getting a particular sound from that guitar, then that would allow you to get that particular sound from the guitar. But in the end, there is no best, there's no better, there's only what's best for you or what might be better for you, and that's going to come through trial and error and trying many, many, many different guitars over the years. I've been playing for over 30 years, and I still have to actually physically play a guitar, and usually I have to bring it home before I even decide to buy a guitar. I could try a guitar out at the studio or at the guitar store where I'm checking it out, but I always tell them, I've got to bring this home. I have to live with it for a few days. I have to plug it into my amps and to my pedals and see if it responds like I want it to. It's like test driving a car. And that is the variable that will determine whether you're going to purchase it or not, right? I'm not going to buy something that's outside of my budget if I don't have the money to, and I'm going to bring it home, and if it plays and sounds like what I want, end of story. That's what we want. So again, try not to get too overwhelmed with this, and if you really need some recommendations after looking at reviews and everything else, and you still seem to be lost, chances are if you put the name of your guitar into the Q&A down below, chances are I haven't actually played that guitar, and at the end of the day, if I have played that guitar, my opinion is not going to help you, because what do you like? Remember that always, all right? Budget, sound, and feel, and especially on the electric, lots can be adjusted to make it feel like the guitar that you want. But typically, just like you take your car to the shop, if you take that guitar to a guitar luthier, they can set it up in a way that's going to be right for you, with the different string gauges, maybe a nut adjustment, or definitely a bridge adjustment to get it to feel the way that you're looking for. And even some of the sounds can be changed too, with changing out pickups and that sort of thing. But in the beginning, if you don't know a lot about that sort of thing, I would implore you to hesitate and do more listening and playing than, I think this guitar is not the right guitar for me. Chances are that's not the case. It's just that you need to practice more. Find something in your budget. If it sounds right and if it feels right for you, you've got a winner. Let's keep going.